So one of my favorite little lenses that I have for my Sony ZV-E10, which is this fella shooting up here, is this little lens. This is the Viltrox AF56 1.4E. And when I got this, it worked actually really good. I was quite pleased with it. I shot it for some video, I shot some photos, but I was unaware that you and I could update the firmware. So I went out and figured out how to do it, and I thought I'd show you guys the steps that I kind of had to go through to update this, because it was previously on version 1.5, and as of now, date of shooting, which is January 2022, it's already up at version 1.8. So let's just kind of show you the steps to do a quick update on this. Now, number one, and something to be aware of, is that you're going to need a USB cable. So depending on which lens you have, there may have been one in the box, but I can't remember where I put the box. If there was, go get it. This lens here is a micro USB. You can see here, micro USB. And you can see actually on the back of the camera, or sort of back of the lens, there's a micro USB port right there. And that is for doing firmware updates. So, first thing to realize, if you have a micro USB cable, it may not work. A lot of USB cables, micro, mini, and even USB-C can be power only. So you want to make sure that if you plug this in with a micro and it doesn't work, try a different cable. If it's a cable that I think may have come with it in the box, then that should be fine. But I actually went through 3 cables before I found one that allowed this to show up on my computer. So once you have that, then you know you have the 2 pieces that you need, the cable and the lens. Cool. Now you need a computer. Now I'm doing this on a Mac, but it doesn't matter if it's on a Mac or on a Windows, it all operates the same. You're going to go to this address here. Now I'm going to put this address in the description. And this is going to take you to Viltrox's website, where you can actually download the actual firmware, and you'll see on the side, you kind of just go through here to figuring out what you want. Now it's going to come up in Chinese or Japanese, I'm not sure what language it is. So make sure you have a browser that can either do auto translate or that has a translate feature in it. So you'll actually see, I think in this one, if I reload this page, it comes up in Chinese or Japanese, and then I have a convert to English, and I always have it, oh, Chinese, there you go. So I always have it set to automatically translate, so then it translates. And you're gonna find your lens. Now this again is a AF56 1.4E version, right? So 1.18 is currently out right now, and that's the most current one. So for me, all I'm gonna do is click on this, and again, make sure you have something that translates for you, and you can download it. So down it comes, nice and easy. There it comes. And they're not really big. Like this is less than a meg, 769K, right? So like tiny, which is fantastic. And then that's all you're gonna need. Now you're gonna have to know where that actually downloaded to. For me on a Mac, of course, this is gonna download to my downloads folder. It's gonna give you a zip file, and all you're gonna do is undo that. So here it is. So it's unzipped. And you will have firmware update instructions. This file here, the DAT file, is the actual firmware that we're going to use. So now we're going to do some plugging in. So this is actually really, really easy. So all we need to do, take our cable, and this side going into our lens. And you're not going to see this part here, but you'll see it on the screen. And then this is plugging into your USB port. And if you have a cable that allows data, you'll see on the desktop, there we go, right? Viltrox, I got a DFU file. Now, before you update anything, you'll see device information text. So best to open this, because you'll actually see this is going to be your version. So software version on here, right? It shows you the lens. Version 1.1.8. So I am current. I don't need to do a firmware upgrade. I did this just the other day. So we're good. But if you realize that the firmware you have is older than the firmware that's available, all you're going to do now is, again, this is the lens, my Viltrox DFU. and you're gonna take this file, and all you would do is drag it onto the Viltrox so that it copies the file over. Once it actually copies the file, you'll actually see the computer eject the drive, and then a couple seconds later, the drive will come back again. Once it comes back, you'll see this device information, which you're gonna open, and at that point in time, it should have version 1.1.8 or 1.2 or whatever is the newest version that you downloaded. If it didn't, I guess give it another try. But super easy. Find the file, download the file, plug in your lens, copy the file to the lens, it restarts, you're golden. Works like a charm. And hey, anytime we can get a firmware update, very cool. All right, guys, that's how you do it. Just make sure when you're done with the drive, you're going to eject it so that it unmounts properly, so that nothing screws up. And go use your new updated Viltrox lens. Very cool. Nice and easy. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that little notification bell, and we'll have more videos coming out tomorrow. Later, my friends.